Okay, Twitch is up. But I want to. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay, so both is up. I just need to change the title on the Twitch. How do I do that? Give me a moment and we will begin. I just need to figure out how to switch the title on Twitch. Content. What is this? Channel. Settings. Channel. Okay, here we are. And then sure, that works. Like I basically have to do this all live for Twitch. So we are at, so I think we're set, yeah. So Twitch is going, this is going, we are set. I am editing my chapter in Last Fall. Currently, it's the 4th chapter. It's in the final, like, how do I put it? There are chapters that are gonna come before this that I haven't added to the count. So this is like maybe the 6th or 7th chapter. So we are starting from Charlotte's perspective. And for those of on Twitch, like I've been streaming mainly on YouTube, but realizing I can do both, that's what I've been doing now. So we are starting from Charlotte's perspective. Perceptive perspective. Give me a moment, I need to make sure that's the correct spelling. Okay, so it's an S, not a C. Perspective. Yes. Okay, so let's see. I awake as someone shakes my shoulder, and at first I'm startled, but as my eyes get used to the light flooding in from outside our room, I see that my mama is there and Papa is over at Sasha's bed, waking her up. Yes. So this is after Christmas. So we're back from our New Year's Eve party early. New Year's Eve party early. Do you want to join us in the study while we wait for the new year? She smiles pleasantly at me. Sasha is excited while I get up groggy, but with a nod, still out of it a bit. I was dreaming the most wonderful dream, seeing the group of beta fish and riding them again. A frequent dream that I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed since wishing for it. There we go. Sasha and I joined our parents in our father's study. And yeah, I know it's a lot. So we describe it. I mean, there's a chapter that goes between this. But yeah, it's a large open. In our father's study, it's a large open space. With sequential plain wooden arches that lined the upper walls, and then lower much the same the right side with many books on the upper stairs balcony, where the left contains what used to be many paintings from my father, yet remains bare since earlier this month when he torched all of them in the fireplace. So that was the previous chapter that I covered. So down the stairs, my papa lights up the fireplace while my mama leaves through the downstairs door built into the side of the grand staircase. Well, my sister goes to the Christmas tree on the opposite side. Comma. On the opposite side. It's pine needles beginning to brown already. Mama, Sasha, and I enjoyed our time decorating the tree, but I remained quiet while my mama finds strange. So Charlotte should begin with the tree decorating, then about the house party. So this, I think, I put it in when. Well, it's no longer relevant, to say the least, so I am taking that bit out. I don't think I need to put that bit in, because we already do the decorating the Christmas tree in the previous chapter, or 2 chapters ago. I don't know if I can make this stand up better, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh well. She comes back after we wait a bit, and Papa throws in another log onto the fire. So all of this takes place on like 1940s, 1950s. So it's not like exactly modern. Let's see. She comes back after we wait a bit. Okay, wait. Where was I? So, Mom and Sasha and I enjoyed our time decorating the tree, but I remain quiet, which my mom finds strange. Wait, where did she go? Oh yeah. Okay. So why do I even have that then? So enjoyed our time decorating the tree. Period. She comes back. Yeah, she comes back after we wait a bit, and Papa tends the fire. While Papa tends the fire. Wait. She comes back after we wait a bit while Papa tends to the fire by throwing in another log. So we already know it's a fire, so we don't need to repeat ourselves by throwing in another log. Mama enters with a platter of 4 mugs on top, and I can smell the chocolate aroma coming from them. So she brought back hot chocolate. Papa stares at the grandfather clock leaning against the wall as it chimes 11 o'clock. I have taken residence against his study armchair. Trying not to nod off as Mama hands me a mug of hot chocolate. Large marshmallow floats in its center. Sasha is taking the chair that Mama usually sits in when we come to Father's study. When we're allowed in. Okay. We're allowed in Father's study. And Papa needs a way to get her out of the chair, so wait. When we're allowed in Father's study and Papa needs a way to get her out of a chair, so exits casually. Oh, okay. So why not grab a book and I'll read it until the new year? Okay. So let's see. He continues to stoke the fire, tossing in another log and prodding the end bores. I wake up more as I see the edge of a canvas from one of his paintings not yet burned, as he aggressively pokes into the embers. Oh, okay. So she is staring at the fireplace embers. I wake up more as I watch him. Seeing an edge of one of the many canvases from one of his paintings not yet burned as he aggressively pokes it into the embers. I'm the only one who notices this as Sasha giggles, rushing out of the chair so Mama can take her seat, and she holds her mug of hot chocolate in both hands as she takes a sip, and I do likewise, pretending not to have seen my Papa's anger. Okay, I guarantee we have a lot of editing in this chapter. It's just opening is rather good. Sasha comes back holding a book in both hands as she goes to Papa with it, as he looks to recognize the book without even placing a hand on it. Moby Dick? That's a great one, he says, taking it from her while Sasha climbs into Mama's lap and sits on her. She's 10, but she still likes to be coddled. Papa takes his own seat. Papa takes his own seat, ruffling my head as he does so, acknowledging that I'm there, minding my own business and sipping the hot chocolate my mama brought me. It's warm and soothing as it slides down my throat. His voice is rich as he reads from the story. From the story, only pausing to add another log to the fireplace or potting it as all of us get drowsy. I finish the last of my hot chocolate as I glance at the grandfather clock. We're still 10 minutes to, and I set my mug down, closing my eyes as he starts nearing the climax of the story and is getting to the apex when my eyes shut completely. Okay, so I need to, because I know that that book is a long book. He can't read it entirely in an hour. He flips the book. Okay, not yet. So we put up here. Through the long book, he finds a spot closer to the end of the story as he takes his own seat. Let's see. Okay, we can put this. Papa flips. So Papa flips through the long book. When Papa flips through the long book, when he finds a spot closer to the end. Okay, there we go. So that now explains how he can get to the climax of the story in an hour. When my eyes shut completely and I am whisked away to a lovely sun-filled land as I feel as if I'm flying. Looking down, I see a large floating whale with many smaller ones around her. Okay, so this is where I wanted to add my stuff, or close to it. The whale acknowledges my presence as she greets me. You're a newcomer. Seems there are great treasures in store for you should you take up the mantle. Who are you? I ask, marveling at the large whale speaking to me, and she laughs a deep and booming laugh. Edith, burden of gluttony. And you, my dear, have an adventure awaiting you. I do, she nods. I do. Okay, so how do I want to put this? I do, she nods. It seems, should you take up the mantle? Okay, I do. How do I want to do this? And you, my dear, have an adventure awaiting you. I do. She nods, prepare well. I feel a burning presence. A burning presence glares at me as I feel someone's eye upon me. Glare. Okay, how do I want to say this? Jesus. Prepare well. Okay, why is it bored? What did I do? not. What am I doing? Should not be bored. Prepare well. Silence befalls everything. Everything. As I think she's still talking to me, but I can't hear her. Instead, I sense someone staring at me as I am able to turn around to see a large green eye in the sky behind me. In awe, it blinks as the world goes dark around me, and I feel myself treading water. Okay, see a large green eye, myself treading water. There we go. Me, and I feel myself treading water. Still watching the skies. The only light source comes from that eye as it continues to watch me, as it continues to watch me. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. Just shocked as I see other shadows start to rise around me. Not all treading water like myself, but some are more defined than others. Being clearly visible to myself as I get the feeling they are me. Fuse on. Yeah. Okay. Let's just continue. Being clearly visible to myself as I get the feeling they are me. Period. To my left, I fall. Okay. What seems like farther ahead of me. An older looking woman in a hospital bed. She has a frown on her face as she stares at the same eye I am I can best describe as a plant that somehow is me, is also looking at the eye. Is also looking at the eye. And as I hear a rumbling only for the eye to change, into a black ball with green fires around it and streaking toward us. A loud growl from somewhere behind me echoes, and I try to look over my shoulder, only to see a large form, larger than the figures around me that I can't make out. Larger than the figures around me that I can't make out. Almost hiding far in the back of this void like area, void like space. And then behind me blinks as the world goes dark around me, and I feel myself trending water. Echoes of a calming voice begins complimenting me. Joyous. Yeah. So joyous, grateful, and loving. There we go. Grateful, is that how you spell it? Yeah, that's how you spell it. Okay, good. Let's see. This one like space. The fireball quickly approaching us. I cover my eyes as I feel its intensity and heat. When I heat, and heat when I hear. Okay. So a bit of background for what I just added. So I am adding this because before, like a couple of years ago, I lived in a different place. And so before I came here, one of the many dreams I had was of this large comet that came down. And I wanted to try to like snap a picture of it on my phone in this dream. Fortunately, I couldn't, but I did watch the comet. Now, at the time, I thought it was a comet. But as I began, well, more or less this year, or like probably a few weeks back, while rereading some of my story, I described one of the scenes of the so basically the idea of the scene later on in the story is the one of the characters named Mai is descending into the like lower realities or whatever and exploring her past lives. And I described that as a comet. And then so that got me to thinking that what I saw in that dream years ago wasn't actually a comet. It was my higher version of myself, of my soul, coming down to explore the lower selves, of which I am one of them. So that's why I'm putting this in, to match the dream I had with the story. Because like I won't get into that. So anyway. But now I've added this, and it's a part of the story. Let's see, so when I hear the chime of the grandfather clock as I am poured from the dream, unable to hear or follow what the whale wanted to tell me, all the strange figures I saw in that dark space. So Charlotte has no idea what she just saw. I mean, I know what she saw, so which is why I'm putting it in the story. I lean my head back, staring at my father, who's no longer in his chair, and I hear his hobbling and cane on the steps up the grand staircase as I head for them. Seeing Sasha and my mama both sound asleep in each other's arms, the fire having been reduced to embers. Once more. Was okay, maybe I described it good there. To embers of its former glory. Up the stairs and to the right, a doorway leads out onto the deck that has a glass roof over it. There are white bars lining it, and he takes out his pipe, casually puffing on it as he glances back at me. I was hoping it would be you to join me. He sounds almost tired as he speaks. It's frigid out here. It's frigid out. Are you going to be fine? Let's see. While I am called, I nod at him as he sighs. Okay. Let's see. Charlotte, I'm not the big bad wolf. I just want to share my thoughts at the moment. You're old enough to understand me. So, in the previous chapter, he accidentally hit Charlotte, which he did not mean to do at all. So he's apologizing more or less. So sorry that I'm not the big bad wolf. I just want to share my thoughts with you. Thoughts at the moment. You're old enough to understand me. Okay. Sasha will learn in time. He looks at me, leaning back from the railing. You're my first daughter and my first child. I love you, but you are cautious of me. Same with your sister. Do I really scare you too? I don't have an answer. I've never have had a deep conversation with anyone, and I feel that my papa is looking for that. Is looking for answers that I don't have, that I don't fully understand myself. Those paintings you drew, those paintings you drew, you did. You've spent hours on them. Why burn them? I ask, yeah. He looks down this conversation again. They were done in my youth when I was a child, when I was ignorant of the world. Okay, so when they wake them up, have him see the drawings that she's been working on, how do I want to go back up and add, let's see, how do I want to add that then if I do? So it's just been waking up. I see him. Let's see, he's leaving. He's leaving the room when he pauses and sees my desk with my drawings still on it, but he remains quiet and leaves. So he's leaving the room when he leaves. Okay. Simple enough. So we go back down to here. So solid. I've done a lot since then, and I know my father saw my drawings. Drawings. I was replicating what he drew from the brief from memory, even though I couldn't see much. Okay, so we can take this out, even though I couldn't see much. But I saw what I saw. Isn't that how the saying goes? P-O-E. Goes. Believing is seeing. You've got it, revolves Porcupine, he says, with a chuckle, still as sad and tired sounding though. It's seeing is believing, but yes, those paintings I saw within my dreams, within my nightmares, and within my nightmares. Okay, yeah. Let's see, but yes. Okay, yeah. He steps away from a... Okay, yeah. He steps away from a frame that I didn't see lying there. I couldn't burn this one. My last painting after having you. After we had you. After we had you. There we go. I stare at the back of the wooden frame, a looming presence hanging over me as I question myself. Do I want to know his fear, or to know why he stopped painting? Anticipating this, he lifts a hand to his pipe, one hand still on the painting, tapping it on the railing to a few clinks, and then holds it there. He pauses as well. Hesitates on turning it around for me, straightening up. You are old enough to see my nightmare. Only weeks after we brought you home, Charlotte. As he turns it around, I see the dark colors, grays and grays and blacks, skeletons all around, while a large one riding a dark cloud sits, a scythe in hand, trolling. Before him, a dizzying current of winds visible by the group of blurry streaks in a figure 8. Green fires all around them. On the ground, chains connected to the larger skeleton's waist. This large one wears a tattered black cloak over its body, as it sits, legs outstretched over the black cloud it rides. The black skeletons below are fighting, while the large skeleton is white, laughing as it travels over the treetops of what I recognize to be our backyard. Many white skeletons in concentric circles above the treetops in the background either bow to it or hold hands, and I can picture them playing around Rosie. The ground war torn as there are piles of black scars, white ones just below that. Over the black obelisk rising atop them, and I then see 5 bodies lying on the ground. There isn't any real gore to them. They are just there, and I know they are dead. But what draws me is a baby's crib, the only bright point. Okay, so I do put that. A pink blanket within, and a blue-eyed baby bundled up. It's off in the corner with a cloud of white outlining it, as if protected them. But why include that in such a grim painting? Okay. On one hand, it's a fantastic painting. I never got a good look at his walk, but it's marvelous. Yet it's so dark and grim. I feel its weight and how personal it actually is to him. It actually is to him. And that he's sharing it with me. Okay, so have I told you of the legend, the course that follows men around in our family? I stare up at him. What course? Mama told us of some legend, but nothing about a course. She told you about the warrior and the witch? I nodded yes, but she never mentioned a course. Well, I don't believe in such whimsical fantasies anymore. The course is real. The course tends to skip a generation every so often, but when it hits, why the green flames, I ask. Recalling the vision, the dream I just had. He glances at his own painting, then out over the railing, over the darkened, snowy landscape of our backyard, as if waiting for something. The large skeleton has bony wings on it, and it clicks with me. That's the Grim Reaper. That's death. There we go. The course follows the firstborn male of the family, and I was the firstborn child. It simply means that all my loved ones will die early. I went to the circus as a child, something I still hope to share. The same experience with you kids, just not how it went when I went. Something happened. You are old enough to hear this too. I wonder when he's speaking to me like this is some forbidden knowledge, like a secret he never wanted to share, but knew the time would come eventually. I was only 8 when I witnessed my first. Okay, so I need to fix this because he does. Okay, so okay, so let's see. Grandparents. So I need to. Okay, so it does walk the way I have it, but I thought I was gonna have his parents die first before the death of the trapeze woman. But yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'll just keep it as is and probably change it later. Okay, you're not a woman and I witnessed my first death. A woman trapeze artist was caught in fireworks bombardment at the end of the grand finale. No, I want to change that because it was actually. This is gonna be a bit. So. Okay, I want. It simply means that all my loved ones will die early. That. He takes a long puff on his pipe before blowing out the smoke and staring at me. his eyes caught as he speaks. When I was 5, my parents fell through the ice while out skating. Skating. I was with them and saw it happen. I tried to go get help, but fell asleep at some point because of the cord, but had some dream that I actually saved them, but that never happened. I fell asleep at some point because of the cord, but had a dream that I actually saved them, but that never happened. He nods at me as if telling me something which I don't understand. I went to the circus as a child as well. Something I still hope to share with you kids, just not how it went when I went. Oh. Shiny mic. Probably. Yep. It is a very shiny mic. I like it. That's why I got it. If you're still here, that is. Kind of busy in the edits. Let's see. Something happened. You're old enough to hear this too. I wonder when he's speaking to me like this is. I wonder if when he's speaking to me like this, it's some forbidden knowledge, like a secret he never wanted to share, but knew the time would come eventually. I was only 8 when I witnessed my surrogate mother I don't know how to spell that word. Surrogate. There we are. Okay, so it is SU. When I witnessed my surrogate mother die. She was the original mistress, mistress of death during its, how do I put this? So death, a act they still put on to this day, period. Mistress of Death, an act they still put on to this day. and your mother's mother. So like this is why I am adding like 2 or 3 chapters before all of this. So this isn't chapter 4, like I said, it's like chapter 7 or 8. So enact. Your mother's mother. She was caught in a firework bombardment. She was caught in a firework bombardment at the end of the grand finale. There were green sparks everywhere and her screams as she burned filled the tent. Everyone went silent as she fell to the ground instead of the catching mats. Instead of the catching instead of the catching foot ground, instead of catching her mate's hands. So you know how trapeze walk, they go like one and then they catch. And if you've seen a circus, you know how a trapeze artist walk. He glances over at me, your grandparents, my parents as well. It wasn't even a year after that night at the circus that we all went. Okay, so this is why there's a lot of editing, because I'm switching the 2 scenes around, the 2 paragraphs or whatever. Let's see. Okay, skating. So what I can do is I can highlight this. Too afraid of getting into the ice, my father and mother went out having a good time. I was about to join them when the ice cracked and they fell through. We weren't anywhere close to other people, so I had to rush a few miles to find anyone. Okay, so we'll just put that. We're gonna copy that and put it up here. So when I was 5, my parents fell to the ice while out skating. So when I was 5, I was too afraid to get onto the ice while my father and mother went out. My father and mother went out to have to skate. Period. I was too afraid to get out onto the ice. I can water better, but I'll do that later. And they fell through. They fell when the ice cracked. Period. My parents fell through the ice when the ice cracked and they fell into the freezing cold waters. Period. I was with them and saw it happen. I tried to go get help, but fell asleep at some point because of the cold. Okay, so then right here, so we want to keep this part. Okay, so I'm gonna, they're already dead. So we're actually gonna put this part up here too. When I was 5, I was with them and saw it happen. I tried to get help. But that never happened. So then, by the time they were dragged out of the freezing waters, so I don't want to say that twice then, by the time they were dragged out of the lake or the pond, I'll call it a pond, of the pond, they were already dead. Okay. He looks at the snow on the ground. He nods at me as if telling me something which I don't understand. Okay, and then went to the circus as a child as well. Something I still hope to share this. Something I still hope to share the same experience with you kids. Just not how it went when I went. Something else happened. I asked curiously. But cautiously. But cautiously, yeah. And so let's see, you all don't know to hear this too, and then he talks about the circus event. Glances over me. And then glances over at me before staring back at the midnight landscape of our side yard. There we go. Papa, I didn't know. The course affects me. Okay, the course affects me. My aunt who took me in after the lodge funeral procession. After the lodge funeral for my parents. They were well-known parents. Were well-known in the community and loved very much. Not very much. Okay. The cause affects me. And affects me. And after parents, they were. The cause affects me, and after the Lord's funeral for my parents, who were who were loved, and who were well known in the community and loved very much. I was then raised by my Aunt Sue, who ran an orphanage where I met the 5 of them. I met my 5 friends. My 5 friends. My 5 friends who helped me with my grief. Who helped me with my grief. And made me enjoy life once more, though I was still too young to understand the significance of death. Though I was still too young to understand the significance of death and its toll on me. Its toll on me. Period. Eddie, Jimmy, Johnny, Kevin, and Ralph. We were all drafted together. Then the war. We were all drafted together for the war. We were all drafted together for the war, and they all died. My life has had one death lined up with the next, and now I swear to protect my family from any more loss. There you go. I take a step back, but something changes as I hear a screech from off in the woods, and then the batting of wings as a snowy owl latches onto the railing and stares at me. I've been waiting, Sue, my papa says, taking the painting and resting it against the railing once more. Papa, I questioned after hearing what he just said, then seeing this owl here. She showed up our first Christmas with you. I had tossed out a dead mouse a day earlier, and I think she showed up thinking I would give her more food. But now she comes around the last few days of the new year, and when I tap on the railing, demonstrating with his pipe, the snowy owl screeches and hops closer to my papa. She's harmless. Come meet Sue, he says, putting a knuckle close to her beak, and she nips at it. Let's see. I stare at the painting a while longer, then approach, staring into the large yellow eyes of this owl, and I can tell she is intelligent. I get a familiar vibe. I get a familiar, almost nurturing feeling from her. Yeah. Not all of the world is scary. Not all of the world is dreadful, but you must be realistic, he tells me. Sue is here because she's hungry. You don't see the bond I shoot. Yes, I shoot back at him while Sue flaps her wings, dazzled by my sudden outburst. She's a wild animal. What bond? I see bonds with dogs, even cats, but an owl? Papa, wild animals aren't fantasies like your drawings, or even my paintings. They are real. They will attack. He stares at Sue, then reaches an arm for her, as if attacking, only for her to use her talons on him. See, he shouts. You, you, uh, you're provoking. You're provoking her, I tell her. I tell him, but he grumbles. Your fantasies aren't real. Mine won't. Mine won't. Mine won't. Mine won't. Come on. My dreams would. My, your fantasies aren't real. Mine won't. Mine were dreams that I painted. Okay, there we go. I stare at the painting and the blood from Papa's scratched arm dripping onto it. The 5 bodies that lie there. The 5 bodies that lie there. There are. The 5 bodies that lie there. They are the 5 friends that my mama told me about. You sorrow because those are your friends. You lost your friends during the war, and now you're willed to dream, to hope for something more. Okay, so yeah, now she's arguing back with him. I have never seen more fury in his face or expressed on him before, as he yells, almost primal, grabbing the painting and tossing it over the railing, almost hitting Sue, but she takes off, following it down as I stare down my papa, and he breathes heavily. I mean, like she's like 14 years old or something. She can't really stare down a foregone man. Let's see. Me losing my friends is real, not mythical creatures or giant fish that you can ride. I wish I could understand you, to understand those feelings. I yell back. Without hesitation. No, you do not, he shouts back. You just uttered a curse onto yourself, Charlotte. I want to know why you are like this. Why are you so afraid of dreaming of something unrealistic? Because it can't happen. And now you want to see your friends die. You want to go through my pain. No, but you just wished for it. You just asked willy-nilly to have your friends die. You want that. No, I don't. My daughter, Charlotte, that is something that comes for all of us, whether we want it or not. But you shouldn't wish your death closer than it already is. But my dreams, my fantasies are real, and you used to believe. You were too young for this conversation, and that match is already burning. Let's see. Papa, I try to choose my words carefully as Sue flies back to us, a piece of the painting torn and in her beak. It's of the baby. But we both stare at her as Papa throws out his arms. Get out of here, you stupid bird. Don't come back. I'd much rather die than have no hope or will to live in a fantasy, to believe in something better for a world than death. Charlotte, he screams at me, his voice straining as I place my hands over my ears and run back inside, tears in my own eyes. I head for my bedroom as I notice Mama and Sasha waking from their nap on the chair. but I'm done. I will continue to believe in fantasy. I will prove to Papa that it's real, that he's wrong. And that is the chapter. Very good. Well, if I do say so myself, I wrote it. But yeah, so that is the end of, well, the end of this stream for now. I'll get back to it tomorrow with a different chapter or a different idea, or maybe I'll do more Oblivion. I don't know. Every day is new, so hopefully you all enjoyed the chapter. I got plenty of edits in. I especially like the conversation at the end. It works. So, like, share, subscribe, and whatever Twitch's equivalent is, I'm sure I will figure that out at some point, and how to better stream multi-platform on both, since it's being streamed twice, kind of. So, thank you for those who came, and have a good night, good day, wherever you are, and have fun. That's about it. Goodbye.